Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. We very much hope you've had a great Christmas and looking forward to the new year, and let's hope it's a better one in many ways for the whole world. Now do remember our killer Sudoku app and all our other apps available on the App Store, Steam and Android. They're proving incredibly popular. We're very pleased with how the killer especially has gone lately, and well worth a little bit of investigation and laying out. Now also on Patreon, some great content this month, some tons of stuff really with the Tracking the Cryptic Puzzle Hunt, the Modern Art Sudoku Pack, and we are coming up to a new month as we come into a new year, of course, and there'll certainly be some new content in January, including January's official January the 1st puzzle, so that is well worth signing up for as well. Now, this puzzle came in from, now my Norwegian pronunciation is not good. I'm going to say Øyvind Torsbu, and apologies to you, Øyvind, if you don't like that pronunciation of your name. It's what you're going to get from me. And I should really have done this yesterday because it focuses heavily on the number 26. Now, it is a form of sandwich Sudoku, although not the normal one. Normally, the clues outside the grid are summing the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. This time, they're summing the digits between the 2 and the 3 wherever they appear in that row or column. So in this column, for instance, there must be a 2 and a 3 separated by digits that add up to 24. And that's what the sandwich clues outside the grid are doing. Now, there is another very interesting clue, which is that every 4 in the grid is surrounded orthogonally by digits that add up to 26. So if you had a 4 here, then these 4 cells add up to 26. And wherever 4 appears in the grid, that's true. It's a fascinating rule. Or even calls this a turtle Sudoku, a turtle sandwich Sudoku, I think, because of the turtle shapes that you maybe get from considering those 4s. Well, I don't know about that, but I'm really interested in this rule set. Do have a go on the link below the video to play it in our software, and I'm going to try now. So let's get cracking. I would normally start with large sandwich clues, but these crusts of 2 and 3 are very low. So in this row, 27 plus 3 and 2 is 32. The outies must add up to 13. The remainder from 45, which is the sum of the digits from 1 to 9. Now that could be 3 cells. I don't think it can be 4 if you can't use 2 and 3. But that means that the innies, the sandwich bits, could be 4 cells or 5. Now that does at least mean that the middle one must be in the sandwich. So I'm going to colour that green as not a 2 or a 3. That must apply for anything over 24 in this version. So there as well. And that really is the least amount of information I could have got from that. That's so hopeless. Naught clues, they're not very helpful. You could have one pair there and another pair there, and I mean, you could even have them there. They're very unrestricted in column 1. Even those, it's just not very interesting. I'm going to have to consider this 4s thing. Now, the digits of 26 are slightly higher than average, but those 4 could be 9, 8, 7, 2. They can't include a 1. Okay, on the perimeter, right, yeah, on the perimeter it's much more constrained. Yes, this is a nice sum. You clearly couldn't have a 4 in a corner because it's only got 2 digits surrounding it. They can't add up to 26. But you could have a 4 here, for instance. How could you do that when these 3 cells have to add to 26? That's more than 9, 8, 7, which is 24, which means you couldn't have a 4 here because they'd all have to be different. But here, this can be the same as this. So if they were both 9s, that's how it must be. 9 and 9 with an 8 there. So the 4 on the perimeters must always be next to a box edge. So I think all of these cells, by this rule of 26, have to be 4s. Sorry, 4s have to, on the perimeter, be in those various dominoes. And if there's a 4 here, it's surrounded by 8, 9, 9. If there's one here, it's 8, 9, 9. Yeah, and that's going to confine all the... Let's just mark these positions. These are where 8s in row 1 and 9, column 1 and 9 can be. Ah, it's better even for 9s, yes. These are the only positions, let's get this right, that 9s can be in. Yeah, and there's got to be a 4 in. Hang on. No, that's nonsense. I can also mark all the other pairs. Sorry, I'm not quite understanding what I'm getting here. There we go. Those are possible 9s as well. Right. Now I can fill in this cell. I mean, that's madness, but I can suddenly see that because I must have 4 4s in the perimeter, I must be using 2 9s with every one of them. So I'm using up 8 9s dealing with the 4 4s in the perimeter. And that means the 9th 9 is not in any of those positions. And the only columns and rows I've got left untouched are row 5 and column 5. There has to be a 9 in the center of the grid. That's so strange. You can definitely say in this puzzle nobody puts 9 in the corner. Because 9 is always confined into these boxes of 4. And indeed, it's a pair in 4 of those boxes. 9 is always paired up in 4 of those boxes. What a weird construction. This helps a bit with the 7. Yes, that 9 clearly can't be in the 7 sum. It's too big. And the sandwich here can't stretch across it because it's too big to be in the sandwich as well. So that either the sandwich is there or down here somewhere. Actually, there are 3 possibilities down there. That's annoying. 2 and 3 can contain 6 and 1 as a possible sandwich. That's certainly not ruled out. The central row. Yeah, that's quite nice. The central row also does not stretch across the middle because 9 can't be in a sandwich of 12 because it would need to go with either a 3 or a 2 and a 1 to be in that sandwich, and those are the crusts, so that's not possible. Now, I don't... and yes, that is telling me something useful, because 12 has to be 2 cells at least, and the sandwich does not stretch across the middle. So, one of those 2 blocks, one of those 2 green dominoes that I've just coloured, must be the sandwich with 2 and 3 surrounding it. And cut, because I don't know what I can do there. I don't see how that leads me forward. Wow, this is weird. But maybe one can use this 2 and 3 business in a... Oh, no, look, yes, 9. Yeah, 9 can no longer be in the sandwich in this row 4. Now, why do I say that? Because there is a 9 either on the perimeter or in one of those cells, and if it's in one of those cells just off the perimeter, that's because it's got a 4 on the perimeter, so it can't get in between the 2 and the 3 either way. So, what is the sum that is 27? Well, 27 plus 3 plus 2 is 32, plus the 9 that must be outside is 41. plus the 4 that either the 9 is guarding or is sitting at the other end? How could that... The 4 can't be sitting at the other end from the... Oh, but the 9 could be there. No, the 4 and the 9 must go together. So the 2 and the 3 in this row are either there and there with 9 and 4 there, or 9 and 4 are there and the 2 and 3 are there or there. So I'm going to green in those cells which cannot be in it. The 2 and the 3 are separated by 5 cells which contain 87651, which does add up to 27. But I don't know which they are. Now what about this 24 column? Right, if again the 9 is up here or down here, probably with a 4, although I'm not 100% sure about that, but you know, 9 could be on its own, couldn't it? And 4 could be somewhere else in the column. Okay, but yes, it was by virtue of this being 27, the 4 had to be in the column. Right, here, what have we got? We've got 24 in the sandwich, plus 2 and 3 is 29, plus 9, which can't be in it again, because it's either on the perimeter or it's with a 4 on the perimeter. Anyway, 29 plus 9 is 38, so there's another 7 outside the sum as an outie, which could either be a single 7 or a 1 and a 6. And it can't include the 4 this time. Oh, I think what I'm finding now is that 4 cannot be on the end of column 4 anywhere. If it was, you'd have 4, 9. This is weird. Then you could have 2 or 3 up here. But your outies now are 24, 27, 29. They add up to 16. And you can't do that with a 9 and a 4, because then you'd need either a 3 or a 2 and a 1. They can't be outies because they include the crusts. Those cells are not 4, because it just spoils it for here. So that means this and this and this and this can no longer be 9. These can't be... Oh, those could be 8 for the 9 in the middle. Okay, stop. Don't erase those. And it doesn't tell me which of these is 4 and which is a 9, a pair of 9s, but it's something learnt. Now, and what I was trying to find out was green cells for the center. Yes, a 9 must be on the edge. It's not in the sum. The sum, therefore, has to be 4 green cells now, at least. And therefore, this one is in the sandwich. And therefore, this can't be part of the 12 sandwich. And indeed, we know that the sandwich bits are there. The crusts are there. So we've actually got two of the crusts. And of course, in columns with no sandwich clues. So they barely help at all. But it feels like a real deduction. This pair is either 4, 8 or 7, 5. Ah, but all 4s, remember, have to be surrounded. So, yeah, that's going to be a problem here. If this was a 4, 8 there, say that was the biggest it could be of a 3, that's 11. These two, to make up the 26, would have to add to 15, but they couldn't include an 8 or a 9. That's not going to happen. So 4 can't be there. Can 4 be here? With 8 there. No, because the only way one of these is a 9 is if it's guarding a 4 here. That's right, isn't it? I think that's right. That's the reason one of these would be a 9, because it would be in a... Oh, in fact, now that 8's gone there, those, I think those cannot be 9s now. So in fact, yes, if 4 was there, you'd have 8 here. It's the same problem exactly as here. That could be its maximum of 3, and you'd still need 15 here. So this is not a 4-8 pair. That is a 5-7 pair. These cannot, yeah, the 5 sandwich here can't be 2 and 3 around 5 there, because we've already got 1, 2, or 3 in the box. So the sandwich in column 7 either is above that or below it. It can't run through that. Now, it doesn't sound like much for conclusion, but it was incredibly useful actually earlier. Now, what's going on in row 4? So we've learned quite a lot here. Also, the 24 sandwich has to run through that. Oh, and that's quite interesting. That's quite interesting because it means one of those is a 2 or a 3, and therefore both of these can't be. And if both of them can't be, then neither of them can be 2 or a 3, because either would need the other. So they are both green. 2 and 3, as I said, one's down there and one's down there. Don't know how that works, but right, now, what is going on? If that was a 2 or a 3, this would have to be, because this is 0 clue. This could not run this way, I don't think. Oh, maybe it could. No, this couldn't run this way. Oh yeah, it could. These don't have to have a 9 in. 9 could be there. Hang on. Oh, I thought I was able to make some good conclusions about if this was a 2 or a 3. Seven could go this way. If that was a 2 or a 3, then the other 2 or 3 in the row would have to be in one of those two cells. That's not really telling me anything useful at all. Okay, not to worry. Probably missing something very clear now, sorry. These ones can't be 4 anymore. So 4 in the final column is in one of those two cells. That's not telling me much about those. No, it's not. Oh, just feel like I'm on the verge of something very good here. Now, if that was a 2 or a 3, it would have to go up. So one of those would be a 2 or a 3. That would definitely be 9, 9. That would mean these couldn't have a 9. This would be 9, 9. Oh yeah, there's some interrelations. Maybe that works better here. If these two were the 2 and the 3, oh no, it works better here. If this was 2 or a 3, then one of these two is a 2 or a 3. No, it doesn't tell me anything. Because still, that could be 9, 9, 8, with that being 2, 3. That's not a problem. And again, even with that being 2 or a 3, that can be 9, 9. Doesn't fix anything. Oh, goodness, what can we find here to do? Oh, it felt so strong knowing that either the pair was there or there. So if that was the 2-3 pair. Oh, that's quite interesting, yes. Then the 9, then this being a 2 or a 3 completely invalidates this whole area from having 9s in, because it could neither be a 4 or surround a 4. So if that's 2 and 3, then does that mean the 4 in row 3 has to be here? No, I don't think it does. Or does it? I don't even know. I can't work that out in my head. I cannot see whether that proves it one way or the other. Right, think again, Mark. Come on, where have we got to? And why have we got there? One of those is 2 and 3. One of those is, so one of these is 2 or 3. And therefore none of these are 2 or 3. I don't know whether to keep that orange or green. So there's one here, that's not very relevant. One there and one there. This 24, maybe I know more about that than I'm remembering. 9 is at one end or the other. Didn't I say that? Yes, it has to be in this column. So you take out 14, the 9 and the 3 and the 2, 38, and there's another 7, which has to be either a 1 and a 6 or a single 7 on the outside. Oh, this is not straightforward at all. One of those is a 1, a 2 or a 3, so only one of those is, exactly one of those is, and one of those is. Yeah, none of these are. It's not really very, ooh, maybe it is. If the 2 or 3 was down here, it would have to be 2, 5, 3 down at the bottom here. That would be a 7. Obviously, we'd be using the 9 up here. Then this would be 9, 9, 8. This would be a 9. It would be the only place it could go here. That would be a 9, so this would be a 9, 9, 8 here. Neither of those would be a 4. Those aren't 9s. I don't quite know. This feels like it might break in a hurry. 2, 5, 3 down here. That breaks, doesn't it? Because now you've got to have the 0, both the 2 and the 3 have to be up here. Oh no, you could just get the last one down. Oh, I'm sorry, this is it's hard to articulate what I'm speculating on here. What I'm saying is, if you've used this as the 2, 5, 3, what's happening to the 2s and 3s? Well, you're going to have one here, one at the top in one of these cells, and then you'll end up with a 2 or a 3 here, but it's so complicated that there must be something simpler than this. Well, actually, yes. Okay, I've been thinking very hard about these 27 and 12. I've been thinking quite a bit about that 7 clue. What about this 13? Now, bear in mind that somewhere up here we've got a run of 8, 4, 9, which clearly can't be involved either in the sandwich or using its crust. In fact, it's got to be outside it. Now, whether that goes here or here, the 2 or 3 then has to start the other side. So if that was the 8, 4, 9, 2 or 3 must be in one of those 2 cells. And the sandwich would be 7 and 6 or 7, 5, 1. Oh, and it would end up there. And if this was 8, 4, 9, you'd have to have 7 and 6 here with 2 and 3 there. Oh, it just all seems... There's always a possible way that it can work. Okay, what about column 8? Now, the 0 means 2 and 3 are together, and they're either together involving that cell or involving that cell. If they're involving that cell, then this 26 now definitely has the 9 in it. 26, 29, 31, 14 outies. I suppose just 9, no, that couldn't work. The 9 would be in it. So would it have to be there and there? With, no, it couldn't be actually. It would have to be there and there. In which case, the 9s would have to be up here. This would have to be where the 4 is going. The 13 sum would have to be over this side, involving one of those and one of those as crusts. And the 7 would have to stretch from this box into this box, probably having to be there and there. That's if that's in. But if it's not in the sum, I don't know, it's not so clear to me. Let's go back to thinking about this being 0. Where's the 7 now? Could this really be 273 or 372? Then the 9s down here are going to have to be used. This is going to become the 2, 3 in column 2. I have a feeling, I don't know, it just feels wrong somehow for this to work. If that was 2 and 3, those can't be in. Oh, then the 5, yeah, that's another 2 or 3. One of those is in. Then you can't have the 0s in. So then one of those. I cannot see how this breaks either way. It's so frustrating. I mean, I feel like I've made such progress here. Maybe this can't be the 5. Maybe I can just write a 7 in here. If that was the 5, it's not part of the sandwich, so the sandwich would have to be 4, 1 sitting here. Oh, I don't think 1 can never be next to a 4. because of the 26 rule. So I can write a 7 in there. That's the most minimal progress possible, isn't it? Oh, that's quite interesting then. That means that somewhere in this column we do have 2, 5, 3. It's probably down there, but it could be up here or here. Those could still be the 2, 3 in row 4. Then, yeah, that doesn't show anything about column 7 particularly, except that that's not a 2 or a 3. Although it puts a 0 there, which stops this being a 2 or a 3. So in fact, yeah, if those were the 2 or 3, those were 2 and 3, then we get 2s and 3s in all of these places. Now the 0, that has to be 1, and that, and therefore this with a 7, 6 here. Oh, this is on the verge of breaking now. 2 more in rows 2 and 3. That can't be 1 because it doesn't leave enough room. So the 1, that can't be 1. This is impossible in row 2. Yes, okay. So what I'm saying is, if this is where the 2 and 3 are in row 4, that has to be 1 for column 3. Now, you can't have 1 in row 3, column 7, or row 4, column 7. So the 2 and 3 in column 7 are down here. Now for the 0 in column 8, you have to have a 2 or a 3 here. And now you can't place 1, weirdly, in row 2, because you need at least 4 cells to make the 26 sum. So it would have to be in box 1. It can't be in column 3 where you've already used 2 and 3. It can't be in column 2, or you'd create 3 2 and 3s in box 1. And it can't be here because that's too far away for the 26 sum. Wow. And all of that proves that this cell is green, but that is going to give us a real start. Right, that's also green. We've got the 2 and 3 in row 4 finally. Okay, so now we know that this is neither part of 998, nor is it a 4. So we can eliminate this 8 and all of these 9s as impossible. That means the 9 in row 3 is here. We're actually going to place some things around 4s. Yup, that one goes in. Down here, I don't know which one of these is a 4. Let's get rid of the colours there, though. And that can't be a 4 anymore. These can't be 9s now. So therefore, these aren't 9s. That's not an 8. That's not an 8. It can't be reached. We now know that this is 4. Oops, 4. With 9s either side of it and an 8 there. Okay, this is progress. Now, these aren't 9s anymore. So, but I don't know which of these pairs of 9s is working. That's not a 9 anymore. Nor is that. That's not 8. Again, I don't know down here, but that's not 8. This is not orange. That's not orange. That's not orange. It can't be a 4 anymore. Right, so the perimeter 4s remaining are in those two. Now, surely this is going to give me something to go on. So, 26. No, let's... Yeah, no, I still can't do the top row. 5. And that has to be a single 5. 1 can't go next to a 4, or that 4 involved in that could never make up the 26 sum. So 5 there, 2 or 3 here. Let's do some green selling because we get quite a bit to do with the numbers we've placed. Also, that's green. Now, 26 has to be at least 4 cells. 26 plus 2 plus 3 is 31, plus that definite outie makes 39. So either 1 and 5 or 6 there. Okay, I don't know. One of those is 2 or 3, and I don't know which one. Oh, I do know this one isn't because of that 0. 24 here, I know that this one is a 2 or a 3. Oh, I don't know how the 7 works. It could even be 6-1 with a 2-3 there. Never mind, never mind. Right, if that's not a 2 or a 3, now I can place them in the top row. Yes. They must be there with a 7-6 pair between them. That gives me a bit of Sudoku. I can place a 1 in box 3. That's now green because I've got the 2 and the 3 placed. So this is either 6-1 or 7. I don't know. Okay, now we've got a 1 there. So we need a 5 here to make up the outies. This is where 2 or 3 goes. So this is for the 0 clue. That one's green. That's now a 7 for the 7 clue. These are going to be 9, 7, 6, 4. Just want to check in my head. Yes, that does add up to 26. So I've basically used all of the across clues except this one to finish off. 27 plus the crusts is 32 plus the 9 is 41. Ooh, I get a 4 here. And I remember how important 4s are. I have to add the numbers around them. 18, 23. That makes this one a 3. And that's going to start disambiguating all my 3-2 pairs. Is it? Yes, it is. Fantastic. That's really nice. Oh, I'm feeling so good about this puzzle suddenly. 2 there. Loads in the grid. 5 must be here. That's a 1-8 pair. This is a 6-1 there. Oh, and that's amazing that I haven't worked out where these 4s go on the perimeter. I thought that would be the first thing once we got going. Now, this is nice. This is a weird naked single. 9, 3, 7, 5, 2 in the row, 1, 6 in the column. It can't be 4 because with that 2 there, it couldn't be surrounded by 26. So that's the 8 and that's not. That means we can place the 9s and the 4. Let's get rid of the previous color scheme and we can make them all green. And in fact, that means we know where 3 goes in box 4 suddenly. And that must go with a 2 because of the 0 clue. Haha. So, I mean, we've almost used all the clues. We've used that 5. That's 2 or 3. And one of those, these are all green. Okay, I'm going to keep greening. Actually, I shouldn't. That one could still be orange. So, because green and orange aren't necessarily distinct. This cell, yeah, 24 here. So that's got to be, can't include a 9. So it's got to be at least 3 cells now. 8, 7, 6, well, 8, 7, 5, 4 would do it. But these 2 are definitely green. That's only leaving 1 cell in box 5. For the 3 or 2, and we've got 7 sum, so this next one's green. Can it be 6-1? Yes, it could be. Sorry, I'm probably missing obvious things here. Yes, 4 in row 5 is there. We've got a 1-6 pair, then this is 7-5, 1-8-6 triple along there. And remember this 4 now, here's another one that has to be surrounded by 26. So we've got a 9. I don't think that can be a 1. Or, yeah, you can never have a 1. We worked that out earlier. So that's not a 1. 15. These 2 have to add up to 11. So they must be 6 and 5. Lovely. Ooh, we've got a horrible deadly pattern of 1s and 8s there. Ew, what's going to sort that out? Have I done the maths right? 15, 21, 26. Oh, I'm getting a bit scared. I'll leave it for now. I don't know how that's going to get resolved. Oh, anyway, not to worry. Now, 16 outies, 20 innies. The 2's got to be 24 innies. The 2 has to be at the bottom. That one's green. I'm very nervous about this. Oh, the 4 here is going to resolve it. Oh yes, 4 can't be here, because if you had 4 there, these couldn't add up to 22. Oh my goodness, that was terrifying. Right, 6, 4 there. So this 4 has to be surrounded by 26, so obviously 8 there. Yes, that sorts out the deadly pattern, which wasn't, thank goodness, deadly in the end. This is 7. Now we've got a 1, 8, 6 triple there. Still haven't sorted out the 4 at the bottom. 5, 4, 9 to go in there. 6, 7, 3 to go in there. This one can't be a 3. In fact, we've got a 7 sum in the column. So now we have used all the sandwich clues, I think. I suppose apart from this one, which we must use in due course if we obey the colouring. That can't be green. Actually, that's incredibly helpful. This one can't be green because it can see both a 2 and a 3. So we can put the 3 in there, and we now know where 3 goes in box 9, which means we do use the last sandwich clue. We get greens everywhere, just left with that pair to sort out. 1, 8 there. This is a 7. It's just an elimination. That's a 1 that I don't believe I'd finished. Sorry, I don't believe I hadn't finished. Oh Lord, what's happened there? Okay, sorry, that's the new technology scaring me. 4, 5, 6 triple there. 1, 8 there. Gives us a 1, 8 pair here. I mean, I've got to be... Oh yes, where can 8 go in the bottom row? Since it has to be surrounding a 4, it has to be here. Yeah, that's how it gets finished. 9, 4 there. That could never have been an 8 in the bottom row for that same reason. This is a 5. We get a 7 here. What a lovely puzzle this has been. I mean, very hard to get moving in the kind of early middle bits for me. But that may be just me not being all that good, which can happen. They're not a 5. Now, again, horrible deadly pattern, but remember, we've got to resolve all these 4s. If I put a 4 in there, 15, 20, no good. So 4 there, and now it's surrounded by 9, 9, 5, 3, which does add to 26. So that means we can finish that, and let's check this last 4 here, which is surrounded by 9, 9, 6, 2, which also makes 26. Absolutely brilliant. Love that turtle sandwich Sudoku from Melvyn. Lovely puzzle. Thank you so much for sending it. Sorry it's taken me so long to solve it. I think I could have been a lot quicker in that early phase, but thank you for sticking with me. Do subscribe if you haven't already, and have a very good New Year soon. See you soon. Bye for now.